Hey everybody, hi,
Hey.
welcome to the Phantom Zone, everybody. So this is a weird intro because, this is gonna be a weird episode because Arlen's audio for the Darkman Special we were planning to release is gone.
Yeah, into the ether.
Doesn't exist. I wish I'd known this days ago.
It
blew up with his face.
Nothing.
Darkman took it along with that pink elephant.
But we do intros on that episode, don't we? So this would be redundant if we do them here.
Yeah,
I
people
think
are
so.
gonna know.
Okay, you all know
listen
who
to
the
this.
fuck we are.
Yeah, basically, this is our way of sorry that we don't have a full episode. So yeah, this is our apology.
Also, Happy New Year's. I'm very drunk.
I'm getting there.
Well, I'm just
Nothing.
imagining you in like a tub with your fucking wine glass for some reason. Just
It is.
So, wait, Connor. So you're thinking of Dan from Scrubs? From that episode of Scrubs?
no, because I don't think it's sad right now.
It is a.
I'm
It is a.
Lou on that paper cover. You know, the one with, or not the paper cover, the insides with Kim Kardashian or whatever. They did like a full.
Oh, yeah,
photo
right.
shoot.
Are you talking about me? So you're imagining me naked with
Yes.
pouring champagne down my ass?
I don't know why, but that's what came to my head.
Okay.
It's so weird.
Giant ass.
It's a very strange thing. I
No,
don't like
this
it
is-
either.
I'm sending in the chat what I am drinking out of. It's a nice
The fuck?
Ruby Rose flute.
Probably the weirdest episode ever.
It's already just very weird. It's a bad time. I've had one beer, guys. So
What type of
I'm
beer? So I
not
can
sober,
shame
and
you?
I think I'm getting sick
It was-
from the fucking back and forth and the bus stops I've had to do. So
Oh man.
whatever the
I just
bowling
got
alley
back-
had. So
actually cold in Las Vegas. Go figure.
I just got
I'm so
back.
shocked.
That's the fucking thing. It's and there's nothing you can do to get away from it. So yeah, so that was our intro to Excuse Darkman. So now we're just gonna bullshit for the next 30-ish minutes, and you get to listen to it.
yeah, we might stop after 10.
You name this person.
Yeah.
Bullshit. We're stopping at 10.
Well, I might be stopping at 10 minutes.
No,
Yeah,
you're allowed to mention.
As long as nobody falls asleep.
Hunter's not here. That can't happen.
I promise nothing.
He's probably passed out drunk.
Oh yeah, Hunter is done at this point. He's
I
getting
understand how that boy he's so sleepy at those times because like me and Eric and Lou is here too. Like we're in the fucking party and up club and we're all like, Hunter, are you awake? What the fuck?
It's because he's so tall. It takes so long for his blood to travel that he passes out. He's like a dinosaur. He needs an auxiliary brain.
Like a standard sleeper hold is Hunter's.
Well, I mean, you just have to think about putting him in a sleeper hold and he passes out.
Here's the problem. Is that is anyone tall enough to get a sleeper hold on Hunter?
Yeah, it's it's the age-old question: are your arms long enough to box with God?
God, every now and
A
then I
very
just stop
small
thinking about the fact that he's
person
fucking
with
6
a
foot.
rope.
It jumps on him like Wesley from Princess Bride.
Yes.
What did he say after he passes out?
What now?
After he passes out, like, sleep soundly and think of large women.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh man.
You
All I
tell
can
Hunter
think
to
about.
think of tall women.
See now, all I can think about is the stories of like when Jake the Snake was talking about Andre the Giant having to shit into a bathtub.
The fuck? I've never heard
how
those
you could
stories.
drink like 30 beers in a sitting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
think
heard
about
those stories.
Think about the math. Like he was what 500 pounds. You think he could sit on a regular toilet?
And now I'm thinking about like how wrestlers shit.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He was a
I
different
like
kind
to
of
think
human.
about how he.
Yeah.
I like to think about how he flew on
Actually,
airplanes. Like, how did that?
I
happen?
did hear recently that like, on air wrestling commentators like they have buckets next to them. Or I've heard they often just like piss and shit them. They're there for 4 to
Really?
6 hours and they can't move.
Oh,
I don't know how old that is. That seems like an old practice.
yeah, because I know it was always a joke watching UFC that whenever like one of them was going off for like 10 minutes is because the other one ran off to go take a leak.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, Rogan always joked about it because Goldberg would leave and he would piss 7 times a pay-per-view, and it became a drinking game online.
I know you can spot when a wrestler shits themselves because how the fuck couldn't you? You're the Undertaker and you wear black pants. The commentator thing, I never stopped to think about it. I was like, when do they go to the bathroom?
God, that makes his finishing move all the more horrifying.
Oh God!
It could be worse.
I did how?
It depends on
do you remember when Rikishi was wrestling?
For a while, he was doing the
God, yeah. Go
Wow,
ahead.
Undertaker was doing a triangle choke. Imagine how terrible that would be.
Well, either that or just imagine a Hurricane Rana when something like that goes on.
Oh, that's probably happened. And sorry, Lou, in Mexico a few times. That's not a racist joke.
I'm not
that's
Mexican,
just.
but okay.
Yeah. Come on, man. Good Lord.
Which Spanish you are sometimes.
I was going to point out that during
happened.
normal show, I'm checking emails when stuff like this comes up, and I'm just going to point that out in this show because
I'm trying to remember. There was a very. I think Chuck Liddell or somebody shit himself in a fight at some point early on in his career.
I believe that. I know CM Punk shit himself in a European tour, I think.
Oh, it's the best defense in a fight. So,
I mean, seriously.
Teespring.
Your money, you guys. All right, well, I don't want anything from you now.
Did you guys ever hear the stories about how JR sent Yokozuna and Vader to a weight loss, basically a fat farm, and they went out and got fatter when he checked on them?
That doesn't, especially with Vader, because Vader is such a I know he's recently departed, but Vader is such a fat piece of shit.
Oh my God.
I know Rikishi lost weight, but then I think he has health problems. So.
Man, he's not in my death pool. What's the the wrestler that has no legs now?
oh God,
what the fuck? I don't know who that is.
Kamala, yeah, he's in my death. I have him in my death pool.
Honestly, every time Kurt Angle has been in my death pool for the last 10 years, and that hasn't changed every time I see him on TV.
I can't believe he's wrestling.
I can't believe
he needs the money.
No. I mean, I cannot believe he's physically it's physically possible for him.
That's because the years of painkillers are probably stored in his joints, so every time he walks, it probably releases them into his bloodstream.
Yeah, doesn't Flair still jump in there every once in a while? And he had a stroke
I don't
last year.
fucking know, but I just watched recently. Some clip came on my Facebook timeline of him taking a superplex from Matt Hardy off a ladder. In 2000.
Oh, was this the Money in the Bank match?
Yeah, I think it was either Money in the Bank or TLC, one of them, and he was 70 then.
Yeah,
he hit the fucking mat and started screaming. I'm like, yep, that's not acting. He is really broken.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get divorced 5 times. And I was ballparking that as a low number. It might be more.
Getting divorced destroys hips.
yeah, sure.
Oh my God! And all I'm doing now is Googling people shitting their pants in the ring. Oh.
Damn it. Give me my top 9, you pieces of shit. This is weird already, I can tell. I think people like this. I hope people like this, because this is what an After Dark would be if it was unedited. This is what it would sound like.
Basically.
Yeah, most
If we
likely.
just plugged it in.
Some of us are under the influence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there are more of us.
Honestly,
There we go.
prefer this over I don't know, Arrow Talk.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, yeah.
Everyone's like, Arrow's still good? Arrow's still on?
That's what I was talking with someone over my wife's cousin over the break, and they're like, "What season is it?" I was like, "Well, if they do Crisis next year, is that going to be season 10?"
I already saw an article theorizing that Oliver's gonna bite it.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about it. I was like, oh, I can see them having Kara carrying Oliver in the iconic role.
They wrote that if they don't pursue enough interest with Superman and Lois Lane, a spin-off thing and basically reviving Lois and Clark. Clark and
down for
Oliver
it.
were the ones who died during Crisis.
Yeah.
And I know Amel said when he did Rosenbaum's podcast that he's really tired.
I fucking believe it.
And
I believe it. Yeah.
he just like because he's in like 80% of the things they're filming.
Also,
that's why, like, the team-
he's not pushing 40 yet, is he?
No, he's in his late 30s, I think.
Yeah. Also, if you think about it, like
He better
his
not
stuff
fucking
requires
lose it.
more him than anything else. Like,
Yeah, that's what he was saying. It's like so much him, and then he has to get like starve himself to get shredded for the shirtless scenes.
Mhm.
He said he was like the big push of like to get rid of all that crap. Because
Yeah.
if you remember, like season 1 and 2, all the ads of them shirtless was so gratuitous.
That was. Oh shit, he's 37. He is pushing.
It's a CW show. What do you expect?
Yeah, he started the show when he was like 31.
Honestly, that was what kept me away from Arrow at first because I was like, "Oh, you're jumping right on the Twilight bandwagon."
Yeah, it was him, Diggle, and Roy. There's always shirtless.
Yeah,
That-
that got annoying.
Changed really, really hard.
Well, and then you've got the behind the scenes shots of Curtis and Renee shirtless, just embracing.
That's not art you did in your own time, Eric.
No, I don't have a hand for art. My art is my words.
What's done in the WoW dimension account on DeviantArt makes sense.
I feel like there's a joke about where your hand is if it's not true.
What am I doing on DeviantArt? That's a better question here.
Who do you think caused Tumblr to fall?
Oh no! God damn you!
Master Hand from Super Smash Brothers.
Well, who do you think that hand is connected to?
Oh my! Oh my!
You should have done that in a George Takei voice.
Fucking random. What is this?
Oh my!
Oh my!
I don't know when we talked about that Tumblr thing, but nothing has made me angrier. Like going forward, like after the fact, like. Tumblr, for those who don't know, it was my thing that I did when I wasn't doing other things.
Oh, you
Like, it was
some
my-
very, very amusing Tumblr stuff that didn't have anything to do with like
Yeah.
anything gross or not safe for work. It was like one of them was like just capturing Chris Evans. No, it was putting Chris Evans laugh on
Laughing.
just from movies.
Mm-hmm.
That scene
Yeah.
where he's fucking laughing at the tornado from Man of Steel still kills me to the.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, there's some
That's
good
what
stuff.
Captain America would fucking do that tornado. He'd laugh at it and then give it a backbreaker.
Mhm.
I literally don't remember Tumblr being anything but like creepy cartoons and porn.
I think well, there's
Maybe
a
you
side
were
of
just on the wrong Tumblrs.
I don't know. I worked with someone that had one of those Tumblrs.
Oh no.
Yeah, but so this is going to sound very like uber nerd, but like
stick your chin out more.
there are definitely more. They're definitely like what I would call normie Tumblrs, which is just
I'm
like
sure.
all the most popular posts, and that's all that person posts at all. Like, yeah, and then there's what I would call emo girl Tumblr.
Oh, that's what she would.
There's
Yeah,
also
it was-
like
It was Rick and
any
Morty
social media
slash
platform.
fic.
There's going to be subsections of it that are just horrifying. Like I know there was a like a mass shooter fandom on Tumblr.
Oh god.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
it was.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the problem. There's a fandom for anything. Like after a certain point, if you typed in cutting or self harm, you would get a message from Tumblr saying, "Hey, do you need help? Is there someone you need to talk to?"
If not, here's some Tumblrs to go to.
As passive aggressive that is, like that's more than YouTube has ever done.
Mhm.
Oh god. Well, yeah, YouTube doesn't care.
YouTube's
Like-
like, what do you mean our platforms for Nazis? It's whatever.
Well, I mean, Tumblr also has a lot of Nazis on there still, which is great.
Well, they also had.
That's
I also
great.
heard they had like. I heard that they had a lot of like the worst parts of like the most extreme left as well. Had a big platform there.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
think
so-
about all the nerd girls drawing like their
Yeah.
weird porn stuff. Like I could.
I want to like just use Tumblr as this like awful place, but I know a lot of
I mean-
shit popped up towards the end.
Talking about how video games are good for men because they keep them from having their rape urges come to the top.
In the
Yeah, that was a thing.
Yep.
But
Yep.
there's an entire post, and I don't want to go onto Tumblr to find it, but I might just so you guys can see. Like, there's this giant like master post of all of the stupid trends that happened throughout Tumblr's history.
Oh my
And
god.
some of it is just incredibly dumb. Like,
I can't remember. I was listening to a podcast recently, and they were talking about all the fake trends that started on like 4chan that people thought were real.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about the
That's
one
where
where
fake outrage is like birthed from too. Like 4chan
Yeah.
starts a lot of
Mhm.
shit that really has no base reality.
because the one they said it was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and this is gonna sound really terrible, but it was like women wearing white pants to show off certain times.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And it
Yeah,
was
and, like,
complete, and then people started doing it in real life.
and the OK symbol, that thing I guess started on 4chan, which just great, and the
Yeah.
people ran with it and like
Like it fucking
power.
burns its way into reality. Because now these like idiots think it's a real thing. They deliberately do it
It's
in
just
pictures.
like-
It's so strange.
Yeah, well, that's what happened with that whole Proud Boy thing. It started as like a joke and then turned into like a, I don't even know.
I can't believe that dude was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
He was on there,
He was,
and
he
like,
was a creator of Vice.
yeah,
I
that's
feel
why
like
he had him on
Joe
there.
Rogan gets a lot of people on there before they become completely poisonous personalities that he has to distance himself from.
Yes,
Yeah, he just
Yeah,
has
he
everybody
is.
on.
Yeah, that's part. I don't think he says
Yeah.
no to anybody.
yeah, he's pretty.
He had
undiscerning
Mel
at this
Gibson.
point.
He had Mel Gibson on. He had
He had
Roseanne
Roseanne
on-
Barr right after the whole thing went down with her. But he also,
not
like-
right after. It was like a couple months ago.
Yeah, but he also said like she's a close personal friend of his. So.
Yes, and also like she talked about how she got hit by a car when she was like 7. I was like, oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah, it does.
He does, but like someone else we know, like we only give that only gets you.
Well, she did say that the car emblem had to be surgically removed from her head.
Fucking okay.
Okay, then. All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Different story.
Well,
Not to
shit.
laugh at someone's misery, but
Nah, she deserves it. Fuck her.
if having honestly.
She's really sad in her like giant ranch in Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. Her nut
Exactly.
farm. Which
That's-
sounds worse than
No, I think she actually literally has like a macadamia nut farm.
Yeah,
Or
she
something,
does.
right?
Don't you remember the show Roseanne's Nuts?
Oh god.
Oh, what the fuck is this?
It's about Roseanne Barr running a nut farm. Yeah.
Sorry, remember?
It's not a real thing. This is stuff. I'm fuck. You're.
It
No,
was a
this-
reality. It was a reality show.
This is in the days of Ozzy's reality show, and like every person.
Hey, don't you ever blaspheme. Like the Osbournes was amazing and changed.
Okay,
TV.
I'm not saying
Osbournes
that,
is-
I'm not saying that show's bad. I'm just saying like that spawned so many doubles and copies and duplicates of people like who's a
not to
crazy
go back to the
celebrity?
wrestling thing.
how can we focus
Go
on
back
their
to the wrestling
family?
thing. This is kind of an all-encompassing thing too. Is like the Hogan Knows Best stuff. After that,
Oh my god.
Cat is such
Oh,
a
God.
fucking.
My favorite thing ever is their post-divorce, and it's him and Brooke on their boat driving past their house, and the dogs are barking.
And
she's
so
like,
creepy.
Oh, I just want to go see the dogs. He's like, I can't, but like your mom will have me thrown in jail. It's just like so
God.
sad.
Speaking of Tumblr, oh God, I stumbled upon this one day. There was a thing, and it was GIFs, and the text was changed so that it was like Brooke, and she wanted to have sex with Hulk or
Oh
whatever.
god, that was like a thing
It
for
was-
a while.
Ew.
Yeah.
That was
Because
a thing.
Hulk's girlfriend was like her
Ah.
friend, and she's like a little younger than Brooke.
Yeah.
The other thing about that is like that.
And his son also killed somebody.
Yes, that was the thing I was thinking.
Yes.
After the Hogan Knows Best stuff, like kind of settled, like Hogan almost killing that kid, and then it came out later on. There were some audio leaks from I guess like the phone.
From the jail.
And yes, oh, they're gross.
Oh man. Yeah, they're really bad. And just like, well, he was driving and he was drunk, so he got
Like, well, he was a
deserved it.
bad person, so he deserves to have his skull caved in. Anyway, what's my
Oh,
next
no.
reality TV
Yeah.
show after this?
Oh wait, yeah, because the kid
Jesus Christ.
I think they hit someone and that person died, and then the guy that was driving, who was his friend, it was in like a brain dead coma or something.
He's a vegetable.
Yeah.
God.
What great human beings.
Nick essentially destroyed that guy's life, and more or less killed him. I mean,
Oh, it sounds like Brett
that's-
Michaels and or no, was it the singer from Motley Crue or Poison who ended up killing the guy from Enough's Enough?
Oh,
That's a bit of history. I didn't even know.
Well, there's a bunch of those because that's how like the guy from Def Leppard lost his arm in a car crash. But the one I always remember is what's his name? Matthew Broderick killed someone.
Yeah. When he was in Europe.
Yeah, he was driving. He was him and I think it was Sarah Jessica Parker.
No, I think it was Sarah Gray or what's her name?
No, yes, you're right. It's
Jennifer Gray.
Yeah, that's
Jennifer
married
Grey.
to Clark Gregg now. They were
That's Sasha Grey because that's the difference.
My brain went there too for some reason.
Oh yeah, they were like drinking, and he forgot which side of the road that he's supposed to drive on, and drove on the wrong one, and just
That's right. Yeah.
head on killed someone.
Yep.
So my brain went right to that bit we had about Sasha Grey being able to hold her fucking breath. You aren't drowning, bitch! Get out of that fucking barrel.
I'd see all I can think of whenever I hear her name, and is that she was in a scene with Stan Lee.
God, she has a very perplexing career that I don't want to.
Oh, because she did a whole
She does.
season of Entourage, and that was like the post Aquaman in that show.
I also heard that she broke into the industry and lied about her age.
A lot of them are like that.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
how what's her face who was in Risky Business got started.
Shit.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. But she had a really bad techno career too.
She's in a lot of movies too.
That fucking
Yeah.
the log is that. Oh yeah, she had a bad techno career.
That could have been a lot of
I always
people.
just remember her from Zack and Miri Make a Porno, and she
Yeah.
was like,
Oh,
because they had
yeah.
because that has 2 porn stars in it, but she's the one that's like pegging the other dude.
Oh god, yeah, that's right. Doesn't she peg fucking Randall from fucking Clerks
No.
or whatever?
Katie
Movies, isn't
Morgan.
it?
Katie Morgan shits on him.
Yes.
It was like his last movie too, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
because he's the reason that
'Cause of
Clerks
Harvey
3 isn't going to
Weinstein.
happen.
He just
Yes,
doesn't
because of
want to
Harvey
be an actor.
Weinstein. He doesn't want to be an actor, but he basically never got paid what he was supposed to from Clerks 2.
Oh, that
Or
fucking sucks because he's like,
yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
basically everybody
both-
from
yeah.
Clerks 2 did it for free and all for back end. I know Kevin
Yeah.
said that they had to sue.
I'm not
Like,
surprised.
Well,
get the
they had
books.
to get an auditor. And when Harvey heard about it, he was like, "Why didn't you do this sooner? Why did it take you so
That's
long?"
how it works. Yeah, he was like, that's how
Yeah.
it works.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
but Jeff Anderson actually made his own movie, which I have.
yeah.
so he's arguably the highlight of Clerks 2. So it sucks to hear that he did.
Yeah, that's why he didn't. He's the one that they're like, oh, that's why Clerks 3 will never happen. He retired. He married.
Basically, the Bill Murray of Clerks 3.
Yeah, he married the girl
Yeah.
from the first one. The one that has sex with a dead guy.
That's
Oh.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What a fucking
They got married and they-
soundbite that is.
there's like
Oh.
a bunch of weird connections because I think what's the kid in the second movie with the long hair?
Oh, fucking yeah.
Tobias, Elias.
Elias.
Yeah.
Elias.
there we go.
Elias got married to the girl from Mallrats that's like 14 in it.
Oh shit.
And they met through Kevin, and she's like I think she's like a scientist or something.
Everything surrounding
is.
Kevin Smith is amazing, but sometimes some of the stuff he touches is shit.
Yeah, I was just actually before this.
Take.
I was telling Alan that like I bought the Dark Knight, which is the what's his name's book?
Paul Dini.
Paul Dini's book, and like the beginning thing is like a kind of an intro, and then it's like basically I told this on Kevin Smith's podcast, and he was like, you have to put this out there, and I had no
He's
idea
got-
that's why.
The death in the street or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, it's
That's
very
actually-
dark.
it's dark, and that's actually kind of a very small part of the story. Like the rest of it is just like, oh,
So
you're
it's the
just-
rest of it is his recovery and like why Batman was such an important thing to him, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's a
Well,
lot more to deal with. Like, his
yeah.
I haven't
depression
read it
and
yet, but I need
self-loathing.
to. It's things I've just been criminally overlooking.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
it's really great. I actually read it shortly after I'd gotten robbed on my front porch. and
It's called
good.
One Dark Night, isn't it? And it's
It's just
detailing
called
like
Dark
Dark
Yeah,
Knight,
okay.
a true Batman story, I think.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
Connor, I just remember something. It's been a while since I bought you something. Just kidding.
That was
Which Connor, you might remember, I actually bought it, and because I went to the record store because it's closing.
oh yes, that's right.
Yes.
I actually found there's a place by me, Zia's, that I was really into. That had a whole bunch of stuff. It sounded like the record store, like you told me. The first time I first moved here was in the first stores I went to. It was awesome. I had like records, I had toys, comics, collectibles. It was like my kind of store. Just fucking closed recently.
Yeah,
Of course.
this is the last month they're open. They're like a staple in like kind of central Jersey.
I guess it used to be Tower Records out here.
Okay, that makes sense.
Didn't know. Yeah.
That makes
Everyone's
sense.
like, yeah, dude, Tower Records. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm not from here. Like,
There's so many stores I remember existing that don't anymore.
this is like me telling you East meets West, man.
It's like going to South Street in Philly now. Like it used to be, you'd go there and there were record stores and zipper heads and all this other crazy stuff, and now there's nothing.
That's what a term. Dude, last time I was in Philly for a wrestling show, and it was like unrecognizable.
Oh yeah, no, Philadelphia is. I mean, it's always, in my opinion, and I'm not going to call this a hot take because it's a true take. Philadelphia is a garbage city because they have
fucking is
the most
at
garbage.
that same wrestling show. Like, I was standing next as they were telling us some shit while the wrestling show was.
It's Philadelphia. The people of Philadelphia has always had a chip on their shoulder because they're not New York.
They love my ass, and they have like, and they're also home to. I'm sorry if this offends anybody. You have the worst sports fans in the fucking world.
Oh, you mean when they won the Super Bowl and some guy ate horse shit? Literally,
a flying fuck. Like,
or they threw batteries at Santa.
Yeah.
Although I will say, at that wrestling show, it was a Dragon Gate show, and it was also Bryan's last match before he went back to WWE.
Was that the one against Kendrick?
Oh, it was against Shingo.
Okay.
Okay, Eric, you gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go, guys.
Bye. Bye, Eric.
Adios.
See you guys.
Last Eric of 2018.
Wrap this up in a few minutes.
Well, no,
against
technically,
Shingo.
it is 2019 right now.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh,
on the East Coast.
It was against Shingo, and I have never been I've never been around that many Philadelphians in my life. And Bryan didn't have to come out to music; he came out to the chant of 600 people from Philadelphia screaming, "You're gonna get your fucking head kicked in."
Wow,
that was his entrance music.
That's
a crowd. That's it.
It always reminds me of my favorite thing ever, which is Bill Burr when he was on the Virus tour when they were in Philly, and it's 15 minutes of him shitting on Philadelphia.
Dominated a fucking violent crowd.
Yeah, well, it was an Opie and Anthony Philadelphia crowd.
God, that's. I have never seen someone
my favorite is
so expertly against a nasty crowd.
My favorite part is
when
he's
kept
like
reminding them how much
7
time
minutes
he has left. Yeah, he's like 5 minutes, and they're just booing him louder. And at the end of it, he got a fucking standing ovation.
Yeah, my favorite line though is like, "Your town is so racist they built a statue to a fake boxer, even though you have one of the greatest of all time from here." Because they have this stupid Rocky statue, even though Joe Frazier's from Philly.
His daddy goes 6 minutes. Fantastic, and that crowd adored him by the time. By the time
it's like,
I think we can wrap this shit up now because we're spiraling.
Yeah.
Very hot.
So, yeah. This is, I guess, enjoy Darkman.
With this fucking
I wasn't even on
5-minute intro.
Yeah.
Champagne wishes and caviar dreams.
I almost forgot that this wasn't an After Dark.
Yeah.
It's just
a Discord test, everybody. Enjoy Darkman. It's one of our punchiest episodes, and we had a fucking blast with this movie. To kind of segue into that, like, it's Liam Neeson's campiest performance, and I'll fight anyone to the death if they disagree with me.
It's his campiest, but he's also like giving it his all.
Yeah,
that's in this movie. You can tell.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun, fun one. Yeah,
to open a window. Oh my. It's like Liam Neeson because his face. Anyway, enjoy Darkman.
Yeah.
All right.
My God, I can't believe.
Much better.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm still in the early stage. I'm getting set up now, so I'll be officially ready in a minute.
I'm just looking through quotes from this movie, and they're goddamn.
Oh, I just watched this. I just finished it, so they're fresh in my head, and most of them are just Liam Neeson going, "Yeah,
My hands.
Take the elephant. Take the fucking elephant.
Oh, that was the
Oh my god, this movie is great.
This is the funniest superhero movie ever made."
It is.
I took a decent amount of notes, so this will be fun.
Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with this. All right, I'm still. I also had to get some hot chocolate because I have some and it was free, and I wanted to make some.
And you're a 5-year-old.
I won't argue.
Listen, hot chocolate's delicious.
Oh, it's great. It's great. I love hot chocolate. I refuse to use that powder mix anymore, but yeah, it's good.
Wait, there's like other stuff other than the powder mix?
Well, I mean, my wife showed me how to make it.
Oh,
She makes really
okay.
good hot chocolate using.
Oh, I'm using the Nestle powder stuff right now.
Mm-hmm. That's because you're a monster.
No, I'm using it because it was free from my coworker Tony. She put it in my locker without having to ask for it.
A really good thing is Nutella and or a generic Nutella from any of your local grocery stores,
That sounds delicious.
and milk and heavy cream and cocoa powder.
Oh my god!
Uh huh. It's so good. It's so good. Then you get those gigantic campfire marshmallows for.
Oh boy. I'm looking at the fucking the Darkman IMDb, and there's like one quote where it's like I was engaged to a woman with a wooden leg once, and he's like, "What happened?" He's like, "I had to take it off."
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
Okay, yeah, the fucking. Okay, I'm gonna save that for when we actually first. I'm also gonna take me off because it's fucking with my headset.
It might be.
Garth?
No,
No, the
Oh,
roadie. Yeah,
I think it might be. Like, are you talking about the guy who near the end of the movie where like Liam Neeson shows up wearing his face and just laughing, looking? Yeah,
and then he POV beats him to death.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that might be him. I don't know.
right.
Do you remember the character's name?
No.
Did you know Neil McDonough was in this movie?
What?
Yeah, he's a dock worker, and Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Bruce Campbell's at the very end.
I know Bruce Campbell's in this movie, but yeah.
The guy that you're not sure if he was in Wayne's World or not, like he holds a gun so weird. Like, I don't know if you noticed, he's always holding it like at a weird angle and kind of near his crotch.
Well, I have comments about all the thugs this movie, but let's get rolling if everybody's ready.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. 10 seconds. Can you guys imagine how funny it would be if, like, Peter Parker dressed as Spider-Man was trying to give Mary Jane like a slice of pizza, but he was like, "Take a fucking pizza," and then he like just went like, and then he went like thwip and just like swung the fucking way, ran off like sobbing to himself. Like, Oh, I worked this in yesterday. Okay.
Oh man.
I'll cross that. Like, we're not gonna do a movie dumpster and just plot crunch this from start to finish, but like that entire sequence needs to be properly dissected before we. But we need to do intros and stuff first and to actually introduce what we're talking about.
Yes.
For those who don't know, although if you don't know and you click this episode, weird, I guess. This is our movie special for Sam Raimi's Darkman from 1990.
Yes, 1990.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't have that date in front of me. I'm Connor McGraw. Who else is here?
It is I, internet celebrity Hunter Davenport. Still awake just before anyone asked. I didn't fall asleep this time.
I'm Eric Fedorchak, and I have a very particular set of skills.
I want that Liam Neeson in Taken now.
And I'm Lou Gonzalez, and I'm every man, and I'm no one. Everywhere and nowhere.
They call me Darkman. I'll shout him out now, but this was almost Joe Lascola's first Phantom Zone episode.
I'm so disappointed.
I know, and he is too, but it's 10:30 out by him, and Julie are just wow, coincidence. Him and Julie are having a cozy night, so yeah. It'll happen. That's a tease. Although I asked him for this one because he fucking loves Darkman.
With good reason. With good reason.
Yeah. Is this a fucking snowplow movie? God damn it.
I need you to do one thing. I need you to call 555 Mr. Plow.
So this is Sam Raimi's crack at the superhero genre years before he got a hold of Spider-Man. And I have to imagine that like there was an executive at Sony who is like, "You got who for Spider-Man?" They're like, "Sam Raimi," and he has like Carnival-esque flashbacks, like Vietnam flashbacks of just the Carnival scene from Darkman, and he's like, "You got who?"
I like the executive being like, "Wait, that guy who made the Homeless Mummy movie? What do you?"
Like, this movie is like very much a send up to those Universal monster movies.
Oh, this movie is Sam Raimi is wearing his influences on his sleeve, and it's The Shadow,
and it's
Looney Tunes, Phantom of the Opera, The Mummy, and like wee bits of Dracula.
Definitely Frankenstein.
Yeah,
pretty much. Well, and I mean, I would argue the Looney Tunes thing has been present in all of his movies.
And Dick Tracy.
Yeah,
because every villain in this movie talks and acts like a Dick Tracy villain.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Every single one of them.
Okay, I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
It's like the Shadow, Phantom, Rocketeer probably holds up the.
I revisit 8 and 9 Batman more often than most of the Batman movies, and like aside from him being a cold-blooded killer in Batman and Batman Returns, like those movies are still fantastic.
Yeah. They're Tim Burton before he met Johnny Depp.
Yep.
Like Batman Returns is like a wacko German expressionistic gothic horror film.
Batman Returns with like a 15-minute cold open of people throwing a baby into a frozen river.
A cold opening, you say?
Oh God! Bum.
I do want to. Before we get too off topic, there's something that I'm obsessed with in this movie that I want to talk about. That opening sequence when all the thugs are walking out.
Yep.
When all they're walking out, one of them is just like, I don't know if you noticed, one of them was just like twirling nunchucks.
Dude, okay, one of them was twirling nunchucks, and then someone took nunchucks out of one of Durant's dude's like fucking pants or something.
Yeah,
like someone else had nunchucks.
It was the 90s. Nunchucks were huge, late 80s, early 90s. So I can completely understand why they'd be like.
I'm just obsessed with the idea of this dude just being like, they're all just picking their weapons. He's like, hold on, I got the perfect thing.
I've never used it before. I can't wait to try him. And then after he smacked himself in the elbow and the shoulder too many times, he's like, give me a gun.
Listen, if some irradiated turtles can use them, why can't I use them?
Okay, no, seriously, I made a joke like that during watching this film, but it was mostly because like me and Joe had been doing you're going to LaGuardia a bit like over and over again, and in this movie, like someone could run over Liam Neeson in his phantom jacket and mummy hood, and someone would be like, "What the hell was that?" I don't know, looked like a mummy in a cloak. You're going to LaGuardia, right?
It would only work though if the guy who voiced Raphael was doing the same cab driver.
So this movie's fucking insane.
This
This is certainly a Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah.
It's the most Sam Raimi movie, I would argue, honestly.
Honestly, like the only movie I've seen from Raimi the past like decade that came this close to like this level of like manic just bonkers.
Looney Tunes, yeah.
Is Drag Me to Hell, because Drag Me to Hell utilizes a lot of the same techniques of like really deranged close-ups, like putting big fucking filters behind people and like slam the camera into their face.
And also just very subtle like speeding up of the film.
Yeah.
Like it's obvious, but not over the top obvious. Like in the case in point when they're holding Sam Raimi's brother up from in the sewer grate.
Dude, at some point I couldn't
traumatized me as a child.
That line where he's like, "I told you everything," and he goes, "Yes, Mick, but we'll pretend you didn't."
Ted, that's it. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. Good God, where do we even begin?
Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about the cold opening. I mean, Hunter already mentioned the nunchucks, but how about we talk about generic Arsenio Hall, the one who's the arms dealer that they're going to.
The man with the deepest voice I've ever heard.
Yeah.
No one's gonna come move me out of my neighborhood.
Well, it might be. He kind of reminded me, and I don't think it was the same guy, but the one guy who's in Prince of Darkness. The one who while he's wearing the thing around his neck. Yeah, I thought it might be him, but I don't know. Because I mean, I can't remember when Prince of Darkness came out in comparison to this. And
I like how this cold open is a setup for what should be a massive gang war, and it's all resolved in about 4 minutes.
Yep.
Because one guy has a gun in his fake leg.
Yeah, which I don't think they understand how fake legs work. Like, it's unless the barrel of that gun pops out when you pull the leg off, like the guy with the fake leg would be in a lot of discomfort having the barrel of a gun jamming into the nub of his leg.
Yeah, and it might go off.
Exactly, that too.
He just drops dead one day and like his brains pop out the top of his
We can't figure out how he died.
I have no idea. His head just popped.
Okay. Can we talk about
it was him? Yes.
Can we talk about how he dies real quick? Because, wow.
I forgot how he died.
He pops him up through the sewer and he gets run over by a car.
No, that's
Ted
Raimi.
That was Ted Raimi.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was the dude that Durant said, like, "Oh, you shot him right through the skull. That's the way I like it." Something along those lines. Like, clean through the brain was the way he put it.
In one of the many cutaway shots of graphic violence in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, like, I'm not sure, is this PG-13 or R? How fucking weird.
Did they drop any F-bombs in it? I don't remember.
Oh,
I don't think they did. Oh, they did? Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, then, yeah, it's R. It has to be. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I obviously have all my notes in order, but I also wanted to point out that this movie's real big on not understanding how science works. Like, if you're in a lab working on a flesh substitute, maybe not wear a fucking sweater vest and have it located in a warehouse, Liam. Like, the least sterile environment to possibly do scientific experiments ever.
I also like that. I like that Liam Neeson's character, Peyton
Westlake?
Westlake.
Yeah, Westlake.
Like,
It has like one of the first 3D printers ever made in 1990. And it prints photorealistic skin that dissolves in that. Okay, the plot of this movie is that Liam Neeson plays a scientist named Peyton Westlake who's working on synthetic skin that dissolves in 99 minutes, and he's trying to work out how to fix it. And then 1940s gangsters get involved. In like in a fucking real estate scheme gone wrong. This gross business mogul orders a hit on Peyton because his girlfriend. Because his girlfriend left like a document.
She found a document she wasn't supposed to find.
Yeah, that basically detailed a bunch of payouts. Which, like, why would you put that in like official mail?
He drinks coffee off of it.
Yeah, like who puts their coffee on the fucking bed? Like, it's not a safe place to put a cup of coffee, you jackass.
Eric's little hang-up is my favorite experience.
I get that, but fuck's sake, man. You're a scientist.
Eric, to further your point about the non-sterility thing, he does those experiments later with a cat like 4 feet away from the machine.
Yep.
He's also doing experiments with like disgusting abscessed burned hands. Like,
well,
I don't think it doesn't matter if he can't feel pain.
My logic is... Oh, go ahead, Arlen.
Very true. Yeah. Also, it doesn't matter if he can feel pain or not. He can still get an infection.
Yeah, well, my logic was that the reason why the cat was always hissing at him is because it knew he was just a giant bundle of super AIDS. It's just like, get the fuck away from me.
Get away from me. Have you seen you? You're a walking scab.
You're disgusting. No, I'm not getting whatever you have.
Don't fucking touch me.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very proud of her. Very proud of her. She had to watch her werewolf boyfriend die. Yeah.
Yeah. So now to go off this plot now to get to the insanity of this movie. These gangsters come in and like do a comical beatdown.
Oh my god!
On Liam Neeson.
Like
it borders on like Jim Carrey beating up people in The Mask and what RoboCop does to Clarence Boddicker in RoboCop. Like it's a happy medium between those two things.
Liam Neeson would be blind and bleeding to death after they pushed his face through those plate glass doors. Like 4 of them? Was it 4 of them or 5 of them? Like his face would be full of glass and he would be screaming, "Kill me." Like he would not be crawling towards the gas.
Like I said, like it's very Clarence Boddicker ish, but like without all the like the screaming and the blood and the cuts and the Dick Jones.
And why were they still using the leg gun? Like, I don't know if you noticed, but the longer dude had the leg gun still, which...
that's their thing.
There's lots of violent bits in this movie.
Like I said, and they're like, because they're like Dick Tracy villains, they have to live up to their gimmicks. You know, Durant is being is a cigar smoking toad man. You got one-legged guy and his friend.
Fun side thing about Durant. He played I believe it was somebody with Down syndrome on LA Law in the 80s.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He comes back in the sequel. And I know that because it's called Return of Durant.
Oh, no.
I've never seen the sequel.
There's 2 of them.
Yeah, there's Return of Durant and Die Darkman Die.
Great.
I love that. Oh shit, that's right.
That sounds like a good enough stand-in.
We are doing Lawnmower Man. I think within some time with the next round of films we're doing. We have to get through Christmas first. But Sean was like, let's just do Lawnmower Man. I was like, yeah, let's. I won't argue.
Something I wanted to point out before we got too far away from it is Frances McDormand looked exactly the same, except a little bit younger.
Everyone looks the same in this movie.
And B, she is the worst girlfriend on earth / romantic partner when he asks her to marry him.
Marry me. Ooh, I gotta go to work. There's my cab. Let me take a few hours and dwell on that. Bye, honey.
That's on it.
Don't wait up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What bothered me about that is like when he comes back, she's like, I can't live without you again. I'm like, really?
Yeah. You were pretty quickly moving on without him there for a minute, so I don't know what's wrong with you, Francis. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she seems more attracted to him when she sees how fucked up he is than when he shows up with his regular face.
I gotta say, his fucking face looks almost better than Harvey's does in The Dark Knight.
In some ways, yeah.
Because it is 2/3. I'm sorry, it is 3/4 fucking gone. Like, his lips are. He's just got teeth.
Yeah.
That's it. He doesn't have any lips, which is very funny when he starts making sounds that require lips.
He looks like an angry horse all the time. It's great.
Yeah. But we have to get to we were still in his beatdown and supposed death, but like this sequence got a huge fucking laugh out of me when it blows up and he goes and flies up the ceiling.
Did you just say it's so dark, man?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Both men get attacked by a bunch of criminals in their labs. Their assistant is shot, and then they're set up
through the brain.
And then right to the brain, just the way I like it. And then they are set ablaze and launched into or fall into water.
Well, that was the thing in this scene in particular. You got a little taste of the elephant scene when Liam is watching his lab assistant being held at gunpoint. Like, no, like he's starting to lose his mind a little bit there. But then,
dude, like I have never in my life seen Liam Neeson overact.
Oh, it's so great.
Outside of this film. Like he's giving 300% Liam, and like, did anyone ask him to do it? I wouldn't have it any other way, but he is all over the fucking place.
Like, not even Star Wars did he go this over the top. Like,
no.
Well, he barely talks in Star Wars.
That's true. I
feel like he's acting at 300% because he has to do it through like 50 layers of makeup.
Yeah, but it's all in his he's fucking growling at people and barking at people, and like when he has no lips. And when he cries, like all of it is hysterical.
It's like blubbering at points too.
Yeah. And our villains are also just constantly just chewing the scenery around them, especially Strand.
Oh, well, they're the villains in Darkman are pulling a Lady in the Tramp on the scenes, except they're fighting over the piece of spaghetti instead of actually sharing it. No, that's mine. No, that's mine.
Durant's like, I'm a very scary looking mobster, and Strand's like, well, I'm a very scary real estate owner.
Yeah, my wife.
I like how every time he brings Julie into that office, she's like, everything's kind of suspicious. She's like, Julie, look at this model. Isn't it great? Look at this model. It's fantastic. We're building that. You realize that, right? Beautiful. What would your wife say?
My wife was just, when we were watching it, she'd mentioned about Durant, like, I don't like his lips. He's not a good person.
I don't like his lips.
He looks like a fish man. I don't like it.
He kind of does. Then his weird bobbly eyes that go in whatever direction they want to go in.
Like, oh my God, that was so mean.
It's the truth.
My what I imagine the fish people in Shadow over Minsmith look like?
Oh fuck! I've got nothing for that one because it's pretty on point actually. In both the game and the book, that's how I imagine that looking.
Except I don't think the fish people in Shadows over Innsmouth cut off people's fingers with cigar cutters.
No.
Okay, did he cut off his fingers or did he break his fingers?
No, he cuts them off with a cigar cutter.
Yeah, remember with Faux Arsenio Hall?
That guy barely reacts to getting his fingers broken.
Well, he's like
Gert!
Well, that was the other thing in the cold opening when Faux Arsenio Hall is having his fingers cut off. Like, A, he's screaming, but he's not really reacting much. And B, like, Durant's face would have been covered in hand blood. Like, fingers don't just come off, and it's like, oh well, I better put a Band-Aid on.
Yeah, they don't come off like fucking like they came off like cheese sticks. Like they just plop and just like like it was rubber. Like he wasn't done or something.
Yeah.
My favorite part is though that he keeps them in a humidor.
Yes. So yeah,
like there were several points in the movie where people should have been covered in blood, like when Ted Raimi shot lab assistant in the head from 3 inches away.
Yep. Yeah, and just walks off, just like, oh yeah, no. Yeah. Well, he shot him straight through the brain, so there's no blood that way.
With a very, very, very obviously over-designed pistol that you never see again.
And the terrible, what was it, Black Widow tattoo he had on his hand? Like, you see it very briefly when he's holding the gun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. After he won a glass Def Leppard mirror.
So Peyton is seemingly blown to smithereens. Julie is sad. And, like, the
boyfriend.
The background plot of this movie is, like, the villain is building, like, this massive, like, utopian-looking series of buildings, and that's why he's evil.
Yep,
more or less.
Well, he's paying off the building commission and whatnot.
Yeah, he's bribing. He's taking and giving up bribes with the help from the local mob.
He's your 80s likes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you said background, I thought you were going to comment about the terrible blue screen transition to the cemetery.
Holy shit! There are a lot of them.
Oh yeah, the peak of 1990 special effects. It doesn't work.
Oh, there's a lot of funny matting in this movie. Like, right after Darkman kills the first mobster, who was also in Swamp Thing, he says like nothing in this film, by the way. After he kills him, like they and then it slam cuts to fucking Liam Neeson in full mummy garb between two gargoyles going, what have I become?
You've become homeless mummy Batman based on your location.
You've become comical is what you've become.
Yeah, that it's also good. It's also good.
It sounds like I'm making fun of this movie, but like I love this movie so much. This movie is impossible to look away from.
Yeah. Oh, so
I watched this movie in two kind of like parts. Because after the carnival scene, I was like, all right, I need to take
shortly after the dude who should have exploded like a blood-filled balloon when he got thrown out of the window, the first mobster, the one who likes to eat, there was the scene where Darkman is in his lab in a fucking broken down foundry of some sort, way to choose yet another super unsterile place to work on flesh-like material. He does that dancing freak scene to the cat.
Oh man.
Like that is pinnacle Raimi right there. Like he always seems to have a scene where somebody dances like an idiot for one reason or another.
It's all very Evil Dead 2.
Yep.
And there was something else that and it's gone. There it went.
I don't think we've talked about why he is a superhero or his superhero power yet.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that's actually right after his explosion. So,
Yeah.
immediately after explosion, after Jules assumes he's dead, we cut to the nurse from American Werewolf,
American Werewolf.
who is now a stuffy doctor, who has frighteningly technologically advanced medical equipment at her disposal.
Mhm.
Found Peyton on a riverbank and assumed he was homeless. Which then I had to ask, like, hold on, you didn't think to connect the local explosion at an apartment/laboratory with the freshly crispy man you just found?
Listen,
he was thrown like 25 miles.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. He washed up on the riverbank, so he might have been. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like Lou said, he was washed downriver for a bit. Even though
You mean after he was launched like a comet out of his own ceiling?
yes. that and she was busy
Jason-
still trying to get over her werewolf boyfriend.
Jason lifts his hockey mask. He's like, "You too." He's like, "On your way, sir." Just pushes him down the river.
How's your mom doing?
Liam Neeson's like, "She's dead too." So yeah, Liam Neeson has been put in this like experimental like burn rehabilitation.
It looks like the Da Vinci thing, where like the Da Vinci's man.
Yeah.
Which like when I don't know how that section of medicine works, but I'm fairly certain you don't just scoop up homeless people and start doing possibly unethical tests on them.
Well,
And
they
then,
might
do.
and then
Sure you
tell
do.
and then tell your students about it, and then go, this guy can't feel pain, and take a catheter and
Poke.
stab him in the leg.
Poke.
They
Well, and-
need to stop him from screaming.
Well, and technically, this would also be connected to the Marvel universe because she was one of the members of the council members in Avengers that
my
Nick
God,
Fury was
what?
talking with. Yeah. Yep.
They do?
Werewolf in the beginning.
Huh.
Oh, shit. So she goes into this big expository breakdown about basically like, because he's burned so badly, we severed the nerves to all of his burned areas, which is like super extreme.
Yeah, it was like
No,
40% of his body, I think she said.
Yeah.
They severed a nerve, like the main nerve, where he doesn't feel anything ever again.
Oh, that's great. Wonderful. Which then doesn't explain how he's cold in the following sequence.
You know,
Because it's the only reason that explains like when he gets like shot and stuff that he doesn't feel it.
Yeah.
Is because
Yeah.
he doesn't feel anything.
well, she also explains that because of this lack of feeling, adrenaline surges will happen for some reason. Which, okay, I guess.
Yeah, basically, like the body is basically is thirsty for some kind of feeling, so it makes up for the lack of physical by overcompensating on the emotional. So, like, angry is like angry, like it smokes out. Yeah,
What's
and
weird
like
is
so, all of his emotions are kind of like hypersensitive, and like he kind of, which would explain all the overacting later on. Like, it makes him really manic, and just like all of his emotions are peaks. Like he
Mhm.
doesn't feel things subtly.
It's the only
and,
way to live.
And it hold on, let me make sure everyone gets this so it explains the rest of the movie. It enhances his strength.
well, he can't feel his muscles tearing.
Yeah, it's all that adrenaline. Yeah.
I do have to. Well, this is what I was going to say. This is one of the few accurate science things because this is an actual. There are an abnormality where people are born without the ability to feel. And I know this from watching an episode of House, but it is real. And they basically, they can't feel anything at all. Like they have no textile. So if they break a leg, they'll just be walking on it. Like they can't tell. like stuff
Well,
like that.
I've had ex-girlfriends accuse me of not feeling anything, but I guess that's a little bit different than what we're talking about here.
But I guess.
Oh God.
Shit, I lost it again. No, yeah, but basically he gets surges of adrenaline that kind of enhance his anger and strength to the point where he can do seemingly impossible
things.
Superhuman things. It also makes for some of the best moments of the movie, like when he just drops on people and screams.
Yes. Yes. With his giant horse teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does have horse teeth.
And like his signature move is to kind of like do a Batman thing where he just kind of suspends above his opponent, but instead of like he just body splashes them.
Yeah. It works.
He just fucking drops on him. He's like
You can't feel the pain.
yeah, he's like my body is a cannonball.
So yeah, shortly after you find out all this stuff is when he pulls himself out of his imprisonment in this hospital.
Yeah, they say oh yeah, by the way, he's super strong, hence the restraints, and he just breaks out. Like
Yeah.
jumps out a window.
This leads to the first time I noticed he's a homeless mummy Superman because he's sleeping underneath a box.
This leads to some of my favorite shots in the movie. Like this movie's beautiful. And this sequence alone is breathtaking because it is fucking sheets and sheets and sheets of rain.
Mm-hmm.
And he's covered in fucking mummy bandages. And he finds a very Lon Chaney fan of the opera like on a dumpster. Which like who threw it? Like what failed actor threw that away? Like
yeah. There's a local
it's not something
there's a local
find.
drama school.
Yeah, there's a
yeah. He also found a whole bunch of clove cigarettes with it too, but you don't ever see him smoking them because he doesn't have lips.
He's just biting down on cigarettes. Man, how is he not just like I bet the inside of all those like face masks are just like covered in teeth marks, like right around the mouth area.
Yeah. That raises a very good question. Like, all right, so he has fake skin going over his face, but he still doesn't have any place for lips to go. So the lips would be all blocky and weird because his teeth would be going in there.
Well, they granted.
Yeah.
And like he adapts their body mass.
Mm-hmm.
There is at least attention to detail in the fact that like every time they show him impersonating someone, like their skin looks fucking weird.
Yeah.
It always looks wrong to the point where like the viewer's like, doppelganger.
Well, yeah, I mean, he has to become homeless mummy photographer to be able to get the good pictures of them.
And like they always look pale, and they have his very, very, very bright blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And like they always kind of give them like a little extra fluff around certain areas and make it look like it's not fitting quite right, which I do appreciate. Yes, it is. But basically, to get back at these people who blowed him up, he. Yes, that's exactly what he does. He basically tries to turn this gang in on itself, but like he can't replicate skin with no reference material, so he has to like basically slide a bunch of Polaroids into like a scanner.
Homeless mummy photographer.
And then it creates images that he can use for this like printer to basically create fake skin.
If you noticed when he was creating one of the faces, it said it had 72 polygons, which, I mean, I'm guessing that's a lot for 1990.
I also noticed that when he tried to make his face again the first time, the picture he used was missing the top quarter of the face, and like a little bit of his bottom left face was like all messed up in the picture. So it was like reference material incomplete. So his solution was just basically to copy and paste his right eye over his left eye and his right side of his mouth over the left side of his mouth. And I'm like, that would make him horrifyingly symmetrical. Like,
I wish he would have gotten a face printed out like that. Like, just, oh God, I'm a monster.
Oh no, everything. It's like
think about that. How great that would have been if they would have done
Yeah.
that.
He's perfectly symmetrical. His eyes and mouth would have been the same on both sides. It would be freaky looking.
He would have looked like he had alcohol fetal syndrome.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's...
Yeah, it's when mom drinks a little bit too much when she's preggo.
Alcohol fetal.
Basically, the muscles relax their development, and they're kind of space out.
All right, I'm ready for the abject horror as soon as my internet loads. While I switch to Bing, oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
That poor kid's ears.
Yeah, there's some horrors out there.
Man,
But
I'm
yeah.
glad my mom only drank enough. She's never listening to this show. Which is funny because I tagged my dad in a photo for this episode because he's the one who introduced me to this movie.
She's still drinking out of that Cookie Monster cup of yours.
I can't believe that story is the one that keeps coming back.
Well, would you rather AIDS ghost us?
No. In fact, that story, that joke has been dormant for quite a long time.
Yeah,
Right
because I'm not gonna do it again.
You mean making jokes about my dead uncle might be a little too much?
And his gay ghost boyfriend.
Okay, you stop.
He's very progressive.
Never mind. We won't.
Every
I'll
time you
leave
say
this alone.
gay ghost, I just think of like gay ghost coast to coast.
Oh my god,
Oh god.
Zorak.
So continuing with his hey, is this dirty as hell? I should use it. He decides to cut off his bandages, which I'm sure he could have just unwrapped, but nope, let's break this Erlenmeyer flask and cut it off of my face inside of my blown up lab.
And then
That sounds like the best idea.
It's the first instance of Liam Neeson fake crying. And it is the fucking best. No.
He has no tear ducts left.
That's true. They're probably sealed up from all the flames. He's just angry from crying on the inside.
His fake crying is the funniest fake crying. No, and then he immediately goes.
And it's only punctuated more so by his face starting to bubble and melt too.
Yeah.
It makes
And
it
then
so
he's like, forgive me. And then he runs off with the elephant and his head is scalding. And he's just flailing his arms back and forth going.
Oh, doesn't he throw it into a what do you call it? A barrel?
He puts
No.
He puts a table so Frances McDermott can pick it up and have it dissolve in her hands.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah,
there is a shot where she's watching him run away, and just this distant shot of him running again, arms flailing, steam bursting from his collar.
And you see the pink elephant still. The thing is, you can see him still carrying the pink elephant. It matters that much to him.
Where did he put it? It just disappears.
So that brings me to a question I had about this movie, and like I don't understand why they didn't do this concept of the skin only working in the dark.
It only
really
works for.
It really doesn't.
No, like
Yeah.
they always do it in daylight, and I was also wondering like why doesn't he just do it at night?
This movie's called Darkman, and this guy says like this skin only works, past a certain point of expiration in the dark. The whole movie takes place during the day.
Yeah. No, because it still works only for 99 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's.
Also, it's like when someone goes in and starts like pulling curtains back and like there's all of his masks, like they're concealed in darkness. So that's why they're there, not melting.
Well, yeah. If you remember when he's Durant, like he's checking his timer when they're going to see the King of Chinatown, I guess, whatever his role was.
Yeah.
And he's definitely getting nervous because 60 or 70 minutes have already passed. So he's got to figure out how to get this done super quickly. That's why he cuts the cigar down so low.
Pay me. You need to pay revenue owed before I finish this cigar. Cuts 2/3 cigar off.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think the 90-minute thing or 99-minute thing was still in play. It's just they already set that up, and they were like, just remember that a little bit. But let's go watch Liam Neeson be an insane man.
Oh yeah, that's honestly anybody what listen to this. If you haven't seen this movie, and you need a reason to, just go fucking watch Liam Neeson overact for 90 minutes because that's really all this is.
Amazing.
Well, that and also more of it's not quite a Marvel. He's watching his was going to be his fiance, whatever she is, his kind of girlfriend, at the Strack Industries meeting, which I thought that was just like, oh, and you can't get Stark, you go with Strack.
Strack.
That was also when he was watching her dance, and I feel like he was masturbating while doing so, but he can't feel anything.
Well, does he have it?
He doesn't even know he's doing it. He's like, oh.
Well, he can't
like
tell. I can't feel anything. I can't feel anything.
And then he just starts crying. And he just starts crying again.
Oh no.
Also, it's very evident that his hands get burned
horribly
before he makes the revelation that his hands have been burned.
Mm-hmm. That was something else I noticed with him as a scientist. Yes, all scientists keep Bunsen burners burning at all times because before he was Darkman, he had one just burning in the warehouse lab all the time while he was working.
Also, what is that like? What was that? What was that vat of chemicals fucking made of that he had in his lab? You're telling me you couldn't even touch that thing without it burning the skin off of your hands?
Well, no, he was touching something that was conducting electricity when his hands were getting burned, but his face getting continually dunked in it, that didn't burn his face off, but I guess it was some sort of accelerant. I don't know.
Well, it started to burn his face. It blistered his face.
Yeah, it definitely did. Yeah, I don't know.
But those dunking sequences also gave us some of the teases of Darkman insanity, where he's like,
mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess we should get to the greatest scene of this entire movie.
Oh my god! Okay. So after Peyton makes his miraculous return from the dead and reintroduces him to Jules, he kind of comes to the story oh, doctor said I should only see you for a certain amount of time, blah blah blah. I don't feel right, blah 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 blah. And again,
I can show you what my insides feel like.
I'm inside out. That's just this whole movie's Liam Neeson just growling at people.
Yes.
Isn't that
so he goes to win Julie the aforementioned pink elephant. And he's at the scariest carnival ever.
Well,
with it is not a carnival you'd see nowadays, especially with some guy who has a guy handcuffed to the stage who pulls a hood off this poor deformed man and goes he's a freak. A sideshow freak. He's a freak. He's definitely a freak.
You with the fake skin. Look at this freak.
Hey, you pale guy with the blue eyes. You freaks.
How can you hurt him like that?
How we've turned Darkman into Futurama Richard Nixon.
Kind of.
Baru.
Well, at this carnival, when he goes to win her the aforementioned pink elephant, the game that he's playing, most of the time the throw baseballs at milk bottles thing, they aren't placed at an angle that you're throwing down at them because they're weighted, so it's harder to make them fall over. If you have you throwing down at them, that means you're just going to knock them over that much easier.
Yeah.
That was a very minor thing that bothered me, but continue.
So he goes to enjoy this pink elephant, and he's just getting agitated by the fucking noise going on around him. And I can't remember how does this go down? He wins fair and square, but doesn't get the elephant or something?
Yeah. He becomes completely undone because he hits all the bottles, and then he's like, I want the pink elephant. And the guy's like, well, you stepped over the line. And he's like, no, I didn't. Yeah. Yeah, which turns him into homeless mummy habitual line stepper.
Oh my God.
Why don't you go purify yourselves in the waters of Lake Minnetonka?
And then like he gets like fucking fisheye lens vision, and this Carney is like, why don't you leave, weirdo?
And does he poke him? Is that how?
Yeah, he walks up and tells him to leave, and he pokes Liam Neeson in the chest with 2 fingers, and then Liam Neeson grabs his fingers, and he doesn't. To say he breaks this guy's fingers is a complete understatement. He pulverizes this poor man's hand and turns his fingers into goo.
Yeah, like he turns him into pudding.
Putty.
Yeah. You get it. You get it from all 3 of them.
This thing has 3 consecutive screaming shots. First, the guy screams, and then it cuts to Liam Neeson going, and Slam cuts to Francis going, ah!
And you've got the wonderful effects of like the background cracking apart, representing the psyche.
Oh my God! Okay, no. Yeah. Before he breaks this dude's fingers, it's you fly into fucking Liam Neeson's eyeball, and in the background of his head. Like, okay, it flies to his eyeball, and the inside of his eyeball is another Liam Neeson, where, like, the sky is crackling. There's, like, little fucking fake nerves floating around. There's fire coming from his mouth and behind him. It is some Drag Me to Hell shit. And there's, like, a skull and other weird shit. And the music is like... Yeah.
He just wants a carrot.
And then you come back out of Liam Neeson's eye, and he's making the exact same facial expression. Then he snaps his poor guy's hands.
Yes.
And then throws him through a wall.
Yes.
Eric's theory that he's just a horse makes this whole sequence make more.
Yeah, he's just an overgrown horse. He's just a giant muscle of desire.
And Francis McDermott is still screaming, and he just fucking shoves his elephant into her chest. And he's like, "Take the elephant. Take the elephant." She goes, "I don't want it." And he's like, "Take the fucking elephant."
It's the pinnacle of the entire movie. It's the pinnacle of the entire movie. Like everything else after that is just descending action.
It's so goddamn entertaining. And then his skin starts to bubble, and then he just switches from manic in like murderous inferno to and then he just fucking runs off on foot all the way back to his construction site, where he's been presumably screaming and steaming the whole time.
Well, no, he took the mask off and has it sitting there, and he's just crying with his weird horse face someplace else.
In his stylish red button down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When she saw him earlier, she's like, "Why didn't you tell me? I could have helped you. I can help you now." And then he just doesn't show himself to her. And then this movie is like, guess what? It's the third act now, and just fucking shoots everything to fast motion.
Yep. You want a grenade launcher? Cool, we got it. Yeah, it's got some of the best. It's got some of the most wasteful use of ammo I've ever seen, which makes me wonder if that's why they need so much.
uses.
Well, and his flunkies are just shooting everywhere. Like when they're looking for him in this whatever it is, defunct steel mill, like dude who likes to hold the gun like his second crotch is just shooting into the hallways for no reason.
This gun is my dick.
It is. He takes that metaphor and runs with it. I'm shooting hot death everywhere. Look at this.
Except he hits nothing and kills no one.
Yep.
No, I'm wrong. He kills one person. And
the old double mask trick.
And it's just
and they originally stole it from like Scooby-Doo or something along those lines.
More or less, this whole movie is a series of Scooby-Doo reveals that don't have any actual reveals.
Yep.
Like it's been all along.
I just like the idea of an episode of Scooby-Doo where they pull away the mask and it's Darkman's face underneath and they all just start vomiting. Just, we knew it was you, Mr. Oh, God.
And he just looks at the camera. He's like, I am every man. I am no man. I am Darkman.
Give me the Scooby snacks. Give me the Scooby snacks.
He just starts crying.
Yeah, he just starts sobbing like in death. Like, what is happening?
Yes.
Shaggy just puts the weed down. He's like never again, Scoob. All right.
Give me the dog.
I'm never doing this again. This movie just runs to a finish line with like the attack is like and then just like stalks them and terrorizes them for 5 minutes.
Yep.
After he runs from Durant, who's been shooting at him from a helicopter with a grenade launcher, because they kidnap Jules and he's like Julie.
Become homeless mummy aerial stunt artist.
Oh god, this is so good. These two dudes, the first one does his fucking Donkey Kong move where he just drops on him.
Yep.
After like teasing him, and then like it's not like a wide shot, it's just a close-up shot of Liam Neeson's horrifying burned face flying towards the camera.
And his weird chattering horse teeth. Oh, actually, maybe he's a Cenobite. Maybe he's Chatterer is what it is. It's just before he fully sold himself to the devil.
I mean, maybe. Have you seen the new Cenobites? They look like shit.
No, I haven't. I haven't bothered to check it out. Because they can't do their fucking job. That's why I'm not going to watch
somebody
that
was
movie.
like, I played Silent Hill for the first time yesterday, and I'm going to rip it off. So he takes out that dude, and then the long-haired blonde dude who holds a gun like a dick.
Who wears a very stylish purple suit.
Yes.
Oh, he is.
Is it the same guy that's from Oz?
No, I don't think so. I think that guy's too young.
Was like in Daredevil season 3.
What?
Yeah.
What? Who was he in Daredevil season 3? Oh, is it Paige's dad?
He's Paxton Page.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Then he is from he's from what did I just say?
Oz?
Oz. Yes, he was in Oz. Him and what's his name from SVU were gay lovers.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was the dumb brother of the dude who's now in all the insurance commercials.
Oh no, not
yeah.
So yeah, this is where we get the little mask trick where like Peyton like slips. What does he put? He puts a Durant mask over this guy, right?
No, he puts a mask of I forget who. Like it was one of the other thugs.
Oh, he puts a Peyton mask over him, and then shoots him. And has this guy shoot him. Takes off that mask to reveal the Latin thug, I suppose is what we'll call him.
Yeah.
And then Peyton shows up. Peyton shows up
mask
with the blonde mask on, with the blonde guy's face on, and then proceeds to beat him via POV shots of his gross fists coming at the camera, saying, "You've been a very naughty, naughty boy."
Daddy's here to spank you.
This movie is a fucking treasure. And then somehow gets into a fucking helicopter duel on an opposing helicopter where he's on like this he's on like a rope or a hook from this helicopter, and he's just being blasted through traffic, screaming and dodging live grenades the entire time.
Which also the car that when he yelled like, "Hey, look out!" That's the Evil Dead car.
Of course it is.
Because
it's
Sam
a
Raimi
fucking classic.
Puts that car in every movie of his, at least.
By the way, side note, Fede Alvarez basically confirmed that the Evil Dead remake he said it. Anyway. So then Oh, you missed that? Oh shit.
No, yeah.
Fede Alvarez in an interview basically said that his remake exists in the same universe as Evil Dead 1 and 2. Yeah, so it's basically Evil Dead 4, more or less. He more or less said, like, he's like, yeah, I basically imagined it, changing and evolving over time into a modern setting. He's like, and that's how the evil transformed, or something like that. I gotta pull up the quote later on. But yeah, he said something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That does.
But so I can't remember how, but Neeson gets on top of a fucking truck and takes the one helicopter. Oh, that's right. He has Duran shoot the other helicopter with a grenade launcher, who's, by the way, is just boom, 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 just firing grenades into traffic. Like,
yeah, that's how you do it.
Hitting fucking nothing except civilians. And then Liam Neeson gets on top of his 18-wheeler and drives into a tunnel and hitches the hook from Durant's helicopter. This all sounds very confusing, but it's pretty wacky when you see it on screen. Hitches Durant's helicopter to this truck, which then drives into a tunnel, which then slams Durant's helicopter into the top of this tunnel and just blows him up. And then the next scene is Durant fine with cuts over his face.
Yep.
And Strant shows up. He's like, "Remember me? I'm the real bad guy." And he's like, "You look like shit, Durant." And he's like, "What did he say?" He says, "Peyton malfunctioned my helicopter."
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was the thing. I got the impression that that the main bad guy, whatever his name is, faceless business mogul, he already kind of
Legend of Chun-Li.
Yes, he already had a suspicion that something hinky was going on.
He's the dude from Wayne's World, just in a different. He just got in a different.
He's not Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
Strant decides that this final showdown is going to take place on on an unfinished building on a bunch of iron beams where nobody has balance, and he's monologuing the whole time.
except for him, because he said he used to work, or he used to go up with his dad when his dad was a steel worker. That's why he said, like, I used to do this when I was 6 years old, and that's why he's hopping around like a ballerina.
So he has perfect ninja balance on these things. And it's over, Darkman. I have the high ground.
Something along those lines, yeah.
And he's like, "You don't have any kids, rabbit."
And then pulls the mask off, which you would think would adhere to his face a little bit better than it did.
These things just come right off.
Yeah, it's. I've lip again.
And I love that, like, he has like Durant's coat on, and then like the mask gets pulled off and it falls down, and like he's like, "All right, fuck it," and rips off like a glorified fat suit to reveal his Phantom of the Opera cloak underneath it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has a fucking silly ass final fight with Strant and like another nameless thug who I don't know who this guy is. He just laughs.
Minus the guns, it felt like a middle school fight where it was just pushing. Like, mind you, the stakes were a little bit higher, but it was just like, oh, I'm going to push you. No, I'm going to push you.
It's a silly ass fight that's filled with really cool filming techniques. Because like that one shot where like it is a green screen, but Strant's like, he's like, you're jealous because I built this. He's like, you're jealous because this is all mine. And like the background behind him looms up around him, and like you get this massive area of just nothing but unfinished buildings. And it's really, really fucking cool looking. And then, like, at some point, they're fighting with, like, pulleys. And then Strant picks up a...
Yeah, they had him be a homeless mummy ninja warrior at that point.
Wow, you've got these all lined up, don't you?
I noted it every time it happened.
And at some point, Jules almost falls off, but gets saved by, like, some fucking pieces
rebar.
Of rebar. Yeah.
Which her shoulders would have been pulled out of their sockets, just like Peyton's arm would have been pulled out of its socket when he fell and grabbed a hold of that hook. That's
Thank you, Neil deGrasse Tyson. You want to?
You're welcome.
Again,
at least
the sun was too big.
He would not have felt it. So
that's true.
Yeah.
No, I never read that actually.
So they have this ridiculous duel.
No, but
sorry. Nameless Thug gets his pant leg caught by a hook and pulley.
I think it was.
And then Darkman just fucking drops his ass from the top of this fucking building.
No, he doesn't. He starts to drop him, and then the dude's using like a rivet gun and shoots the line that he's holding, and then he drops him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he picks up a fucking like a Big Daddy BioShock.
It looked like something out of Quake. Like it looked like he just pulled it out of Quake.
And like he's shooting this shit at fucking Darkman. He's like dipping and dodging. And by the way, he has like 4 inches on each side to maybe bob and weave, and he's doing it successfully. But then his hand
very
gets,
Raimi bullet shots.
Yeah. Yeah. Where every single rivet gets its own POV shot. And one of these rivets hits Darkman in the hand. He gets pinned to like a bar. And then we find out that his trigger word is freak, because Strant's like, it's okay, I got to know Jules a little bit, and she doesn't want to marry a freak. And then, this is my favorite fucking shot of the movie. Liam Neeson opens his mouth, the camera flies into his mouth, and then on the other side is another Liam Neeson, but the screen is red, and he goes, Rah!
Yes.
And then he fucking unloads on Strant. Strant
has a quarter-sized hole in his hand.
Jules drops, so Darkman gets a pulley, swings from it, catches Jules, swings her to safety, swings back, and Spider-Man double kicks Strant to his death. Yeah. Oh wait, actually that's not right. Actually it's not quite happened, because Liam Neeson has like one of the best lines before he kills a bad guy I think I've ever heard, where Strant's like, he's like, yeah, you can't do it, is it? You can't live with yourself. And Liam Neeson just goes, there's a lot I'm learning to live with, and just drops him. I'm like, okay, that was fucking awesome.
Well, wait, maybe I'm misremembering. Doesn't he do his giant force, his giant
in the fight, gets him above him and goes, and just fucking falls on him. And then the end of this movie is like they get into an elevator and she's like, look at me. He's like, don't look at me.
Well, that's the thing. Like, she seems to be more into him now that he's this burned up freak than freak as he breaks through my window. Than he was when he looked like Liam Neeson. Like, maybe that's the thing.
I have to say, like, it's weird to see Liam Neeson, who's everyone knows his face, is covered in horror makeup the entire film, basically.
Yeah.
And they don't shy away from showing it. Like, it's clearly him, like, because that's his face. Like, it's not like a case of like an actor for the before accident part and an actor for the after accident part, like in Swamp Thing. He's there, committing entirely to this fucking role. But this movie wraps up with him basically saying, like, the longer I was, doing what I was doing in that fucking steel mill, like, the man behind the mask was starting to go away, and he's basically like, I'm a monster now.
My insides were becoming my outsides.
And he's like, "Now I'm Bruce Campbell." And then he runs off from Julie, and as he's doing so, he puts on one more mask, and then runs into a crowd of people. And then you get like the best cameo ever. On with a full head of hair and a nice fucking sharp ass chin.
Yep.
Basically, that's the mask that Peyton puts on. Then he fades into the group of people, a la Mad Max from Fury Road, and that's it. And he says, "I'm Darkman,"
which hopefully he got where he was going within 90 minutes, or there's going to be a whole lot of bummed out people in that group.
He's going to go. So that was a lot of laughter, but I love this movie so much. This was as enjoyable as Steel for so many different reasons.
Yeah.
Oh, this movie's fantastic. This movie's insane and it's weird.
Yeah, for something that's not actually based on any existing property, it's a lot of fun.
It's not based on anything because Raimi wanted to do The Shadow or Batman, and they was basically told no, so he amalgamated. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that
he certainly fucked it. Yeah.
Well, it's weird that both of those movies they got stolen out from underneath him, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'll make something of my own." And like Batman's one thing, but like it completely just nerfs the Shadow. Like it's just I remember is that movie had Alec Baldwin. That's it. I don't remember anything else about it.
He has a weird laughter and a really bad prosthetic nose.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the only one of these like era movies that I think would hold up as well is Rocketeer, but that's like a completely different style movie in many ways. No, it's still pulp, but it's not the detective thing. Yeah.
And I've still never.
He wasn't
seen
even a
the Phantom.
detective, though. He was just a screaming monstrosity that couldn't control his emotions.
It's true. Well, the Hat and the Duster's straight up ripoff of The Shadow.
It's the Invisible Man, Phantom of the Opera. Someone said Frankenstein earlier.
I think I saw in the IMDb Hunchback of Notre Dame was one of them that he got inspiration.
I would definitely say Wolfman, just because you're trying to fight the monster underneath.
Yeah, I can see that.
You guys,
yeah, he exists between two worlds, but belongs to neither.
He didn't have to grow a tiny hand in this movie. The power of sunlight. No, but he did have sex with Frances McDermott, and like I think Frances McDermott is actually a very attractive woman. So,
yeah.
well,
oh man,
literally,
Swamp Thing would have had a different career trajectory.
Swamp Thing is not a movie about a man turned into a monster as much as how do we get Bridget Bardot into water as much as possible.
Yeah,
sounds about right.
And have her wear low cut shirts.
And angry in 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes. That's the thing nobody realizes, like, the second two movies shouldn't exist because he should have died from some sort of bizarre super cancer from all of the horrible places he was working and sleeping.
But he never feels the pain.
It doesn't matter. That's true. He's got every disease, so they can't get out. Yeah.
The Three Stooges effect.
Yep.
I love. That's your body. In fact, he's like, you're not healthy. You're the sickest man alive.
So I'm immortal.
I love that when he's like, well, let's get some blood. The syringe goes through Mr. Burns' arm, and he's like, Mr. Burns is like, oh, right over there. I saw some blood there yesterday. But holy shit, Darkman is good. And as someone said, it's not based on anything. It just out of Sam Raimi's wacko mind. And it's important because Sam Raimi would go on to direct one of the more important superhero trilogies. It has a really bad third movie.
It brought back the comic book movie genre.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's. I mean, he gave us the big screen debuts of Green Goblin, Sandman, fucking Venom. Yeah. Yeah, and since Batman had already gone off the deep end at this point, like especially by the time Spider-Man 1 rolls around, like didn't Batman Forever already shit the bed? Not Batman Forever, Batman and Robin?
Yeah,
they were like
so.
really close at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think Keaton heard that Burton was out and he was like, fuck this, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, no, that was the whole reason he signed on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they were going to
it's-
do a spin-off and they were going to make their whole universe with Superman.
Well, and it's kind of like who was it who was supposed to direct Spider-Man? There was someone
James
else.
Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron, and like Mary Jane and Spider-Man. Yeah, Mary Jane and Spider-Man were gonna have sex on top of the Brooklyn Bridge and just all types of crazy stuff.
Hell
was supposed to
yeah.
happen.
God.
Uh,
Did you guys?
Wasn't it the Brooklyn Bridge that Gwen Stacy fell off of?
Yeah.
That makes it even more disturbing that they were going to have sex on top of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah. Imagine they did like Spider-Man 3 and Gwen Stacy got thrown off the same bridge. He's like, oh, God.
God damn it.
you never come back here again.
Man, Spider-Man 3 had me, like, when Gwen is falling out of that building, like, the whole time going, and now, no, oh, now, no, okay. And he saved her again. What's happening? She lived? What the fuck is this? And then all through Amazing Spider-Man 2, I was like, just fucking do it.
Just get it done.
And then they did it, and I was like, I didn't feel anything.
I'm dead inside.
I was like, oh no, Billy Idol killed Emma Stone. I'm really upset about it.
Don't you
I'm
defend Billy Idol like that?
I know.
Dane DeHaan.
Billy Idol looks fantastic, whereas Dean DeHaan looked like shit in that movie.
Yeah.
Is there a movie that he doesn't look like shit?
Well, I mean, like physically, or because I think he's a pretty good actor. I mean, but he always looks sick.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. That he always Michael B. Jordan.
Well, yeah, it's he always plays the sickly looking kid, and the one dude from Ozarks always plays the dirty kid. Like, yeah.
I'm saying because Dane DeHaan was in shit.
The one with Michael B. Jordan. That's
He was also in the Chronicles. I love Chronicle, but he's also in The Place Beyond the Pines with Bradley Cooper and Ryan Gosling, and that movie will fuck your day up if you aren't prepared for it.
They also put him in what's that terrible Luc Besson movie?
Oh, Valerian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both of them?
I heard that, Hunter.
I have not seen Valerian, and I don't know when I'll get to it.
Yeah, I will never. And I love Fifth Element, but I will never see that film.
No, I love Fifth Element too, and I saw Valerian, and I'm like, that's got potential to suck. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to see it for the special effect shots.
It's what I call the Green Lantern effect. It's like so much CGI.
Yeah.
I also really like Carol was
Evangeline?
yes.
No. Oh, it is Devangeline? All right, I thought it was something like a DeVoe or something along those lines.
No, it's what's her name that played Enchantress in Suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Devangeline?
I like her a lot. I think she has a very interesting look.
Yeah, she does.
She was a model.
Yeah. And she's like arguably my favorite part of Suicide Squad outside of like Harley and Deadshot. Just from a presentation standpoint alone, I thought she was really cool. Like especially when June puts her hand on the table and then is awesome. But Darkman I think is really important to superhero films, mostly because it's I don't know, there's fucking nothing like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's really nothing as extreme as Darkman, just in terms of presentation, and it's completely original. And like there's a very dry desert of original superhero films.
It reminds me, thinking back, a lot of Crank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if Statham had on a black hat and a cloak and no face.
But like,
but
like if you go over like real quick, like how many good original superhero films are there like that aren't this? Because it ain't fucking Pluto Nash. Like,
well, that's not a superhero. Yeah, like Incredibles, I can't even consider original. It's Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
It's Fantastic Four.
Well, and how quickly you guys are forgetting the wonderful Damon Wayans film Blank Man.
I was gonna get to it. I didn't forget about it.
Well, actually, I would say there's Meteor Man.
Yes, there is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Robert Townsend.
I mean, you have superhero film, which came out during that like vomit-inducing trend of genre movie. It's a comedy.
The Wayne.
And we're gonna kill it.
Well, actually,
superhero movie had gags I really, really enjoyed. And one of them in particular was when the villain says, "I have 1 hour to live," and he flips over an hourglass and it drains in 2 seconds. And Data from Star Trek goes, "It was on sale."
Actually, something I thought of that fit into the original superhero film would be Sky High, the Disney film.
That is the one everyone goes to.
That's. Dead.
I would say, gone. What is with me tonight?
Hair.
Yes, beautiful Kurt Russell's hair.
We're talking about Sky High. We mentioned already, but I definitely think Chronicle is it's a superhero film from the opposite perspective.
It kind of is, but it also feels like an Akira proof of concept.
Well, Landis himself, I can't believe this is like the only time where I'm mentioning his name without calling him a piece of shit.
Well, his dad was in the movie.
Well, there it is. Landis said his inspiration for that was Carrie, but like a lot of people watched that and said like this is also Akira, and this is also kind of it is kind of an X-Men movie.
Yeah,
like because it is someone with extreme superpowers, also dealing with like puberty. And like high school shit and like being just a regular ass kid, which is kind of a Spider-Man thing, also kind of like a young X-Men thing, and like, but the list is really short and it's really hard to think of stuff that's even worth watching because like I'm not gonna go tell anybody to watch The Toxic Avenger. Not gonna happen.
No. But I will tell you, go watch Sergeant Kabuki Man.
I was gonna fucking reference that next. Sergeant Kabuki Man is great. From the same studio, Trauma did a bunch of original superheroes, and one of them is Sergeant Kabuki Man. And yes, it's as offensive as you might think it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Wait, Arlen, have you never seen Sergeant Kabuki Man? A New York detective gets the powers of fucking Kabuki Man. I don't even remember.
If you watch the trailer, the minute it starts up, if I remember correctly, it has the din, 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 and just it's what you'd expect from Trauma.
Yeah,
this reminds me of the New 52 version of the Creeper, because I think that's what they did. They made the Creeper an ancient Japanese spirit.
Oh no,
that took over Jack Ryder.
They got rid of that though.
Oh, they did real fast.
Yeah, they're like, oh.
God.
No, and like you can come up with more stuff that's like that is a comic that's not like Irredeemable is probably the biggest one that comes to mind when it comes to like a comic event that doesn't have its feet in the Marvel and DC garden.
Kind of.
I'm not gonna. Very. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything, but it is a character that doesn't have any kind of deeper connections to that, and it goes into some wacky fucking places.
It does.
And I kind of like I wish we could get more films like this. That is the superhero genre, but I think people with money are afraid that like no one knows his brand, therefore they won't buy any tickets.
Yeah,
just because the genre is huge right now doesn't mean that everything is going to sell.
Didn't Rainn Wilson and what's her name that was Juno do a movie?
Oh, Super.
Oh, Super. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was
like
great.
they happened, but they're like really small.
But that wasn't as much a superhero film as it was just about mental health. And
Well, you could say the same about was it Mark Millar one that they turned into a movie?
Kick-Ass?
Kick-Ass.
Yeah, not really, because I mean, it's the hero, quote unquote, of Kick-Ass isn't quite as questionably mentally unsound as Rainn Wilson is.
Nick Cage's character is.
Well, yeah, Nick Cage's character is, but I mean that's.
Now switch to kryptonite.
Yeah, it's pretty much Connor said everything I could say about Darkman. It's like it's really well done for an original concept, and I think it was a little bit before its time, because I think of something not
dude, if this was made today by like Sam Raimi, who's had like 30 years to fucking hone his craft, if this was made today instead of Drag Me to Hell, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
Like if I could trade those movies in their place in history.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh God!
Oh, dude.
Oh God! I would love to see that.
Could if you wanted to.
Exactly. I feel like Liam Neeson is ready to get out of the I'm a man who has some very particular things that I can do, like, genre of movies, because that's all he does now, is he just keeps doing wanted over and over and over
well,
again.
except when he gets, because I think the Snowplow movie is a comedy. And I think it's a parody of like what he's doing.
The Mr. Plow movie.
But like his
well, you know why it's Coxman, right? Because of the very famous internet thing with Liam Neeson.
No, what?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, Liam Neeson is very famous for possibly having the largest cock in Hollywood.
Huh.
To the point where Kevin Smith on one of the podcasts, they had a song for like one of their intros. It was about how big his cock was. It was ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He's one of those famous guys.
Well, I love him in Lego Movie. As good cop and bad cop. But yeah, I think he's a little over being like the sagely type or the Jerry action star.
Yeah.
I think if Sam Raimi walked up and said like, "Let's do fucking Darkman 4," he would like, "Yes, please."
I feel like I would come from the other direction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's Hey, Liam, let's do Darkman 2. There were 2 sequels. No, there weren't.
Yeah, they were just fever dreams while he was fighting off all the horrible infections he had gotten from the first film.
Yeah. It's like how Harvey Dent in Dark Knight would be dead within like, I don't know, probably like 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Or he would go insane from pain.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I say in that movie, they're like, yeah, he's not taking his pain meds. I'm like, he would be screaming.
Yes. Yes.
He would be screaming in agony.
But it's only that half of his face has superpowers.
Too bad there's no skin there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think good on Darkman.
Yeah.
That was a
Kinda
good fucking
shocked.
time, and I really recommend anyone listen to this. Like, I know we spoiled a bunch of it, but like, please,
It doesn't matter.
Please, no, because because this is a very visual experience, and us just telling you about it is not going to do it justice. You need to see it.
Yeah, you do.
And please don't watch the sequels. I've never even seen the sequels. I don't think I will.
They're great.
Oh God.
Here's the thing. I would recommend the first Crow sequel before I recommend the Darkman sequels. And I've seen the Crow City of Angels a handful of times, and I still say to this day, it's not an awful movie. It's just not as good as the first movie. And that's the biggest sin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Crow 2 also has a really fucking good soundtrack, just like
I
the
was
first
going to
movie
say
does.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Crow-
it's different, but it's still very good.
It's still very good. And also, if you look at the history of that movie, it was butchered by the studio and was supposed to be something entirely different.
Yeah.
But it takes place in the same universe, and then later Crow sequels can all burn in hell. Especially that one with fucking Eddie Furlong and David Boreanaz and Tara Reid, and Danny Trejo. That's where those movies went.
Were the main villain Tara Reid's nipples?
Oh man! Everybody, look right there. Yeah, that's it. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
I can't find all this.
Fuck it, apocalypse.